god, I just recorded 2 minutes of a video and then I name dropped my ex, and he has a Hungarian common name, but it's an Hungarian name, so it's not that common in the rest of the world. Girl, you're dumb as hell. I said it so casually as well. Like, I'm really tired. Because I worked today for 7 hours, and I slept for like 6 hours or 5, I don't know, because I was calling with the English guy and I was talking about that. I'm gonna speech run this shit because I actually really want to shower, and I'm so over it. So, okay, I'm gonna make some chai tea once I'm done showering, and maybe like a face mask. I'm gonna treat myself. Deserve it. I deserve it. So, yeah, called with the English guy till very late yesterday, and at some point in the evening, in the middle of the night, we were talking about red flags. I think it was like, oh yeah, he at some point said like, oh yeah, I definitely saw some red flags in the beginning that like I was like, don't want to date, or like talking about like other girls or something. Because I think I was like, oh yeah, you didn't notice. I just got a message of a friend that will give me so much insight and maybe like a little bit of improvement of myself. Side note. But that made me lose my track. Anyways, so we were talking about red flags, and I was like, oh, like what are my red flags? Like, please, call me out on it. Like, be harsh, because I need people to do that. I'm in a point of my life where I can handle criticism. I'm a lot worse with handling criticism if it comes to like projects or things that I've made. But if it's about me, if it's about my personality, I will not cry. And especially right now, I need people to be harsh with me, because I am the harshest. Like, I am so strict to myself. I'm so mean to myself that like I need people who are around in my life, or like who have talked to me and stuff, tell me like, hey, this is what you do, which is maybe not the greatest. And I'm like, okay, I need to improve that. Like, I need to change that, because like, how am I gonna move forward in my life if I cannot do that? So that's definitely some emotional maturity developed. And so at his first red flag was like, oh, you say that you're, or like that I'm indecisive, which sometimes I have my reasons for. And then he also was like, yeah, I want to know like some things that you like, so I can like plan a special evening for you or something. And I'm like, that was a bit too much flirting. That's a bit too much. Like, I have definitely told my ex, that's where I slipped up in the last video. For some reason, I am now later in the video than I was in the other one. Besides the point. I've definitely sometimes, I think, told my ex, like, hey, I like these things, or especially, I like flowers. He didn't like flowers. And he said that on our first date because it was Valentine's, and I saw like so many people walking around with flowers, and I was like, oh, I love flowers. He was like, oh, I don't like flowers because like they die. So then I just eventually bought him flowers, and then he started buying me flowers occasionally, and I was like, oh my god. I don't know. Maybe I never told him. But that's also the problem. Like, my ex was quite anxious, so like whenever he would plan a date, he would be like, yeah, I'm really anxious because I don't know if you like it and stuff. I'm like, it's you, of course I will like it. I like anything that you plan. Like, I think I just like to be surprised. I like to be, I don't know, taken care of to an extent. I do like taking care of. I just have a really hard time letting people take care of me. And so like that also kind of feels like more relationship level, that I tell people what I like. And I don't know, it also comes with like a kind of vulnerability, because what I like is, I actually need to think about that. What I like is dancing, and talking and getting to know each other. What I like is to be a little drunk walking home, and to hang out with my friends, with my partner. We're like, oh my god, and to walk outside around, maybe sit in the park or something. But I think one of my favorite activities is like in the evening, just taking a stroll, just talking about whatever. or late night conversations on the balcony and stuff. And obviously that isn't really something romantic that you can plan. But already like coming home. See, like also what I would find really romantic if like somebody would surprise me with flowers. And I would be like, okay, I'm gonna take you to dinner right now. And I bought this dress for you. And I know that you like it because like I know you, or like I stalk your Pinterest. And we're gonna go to this restaurant tonight. I'll be like, oh my god. And like, but also them knowing my schedule and then knowing that I'm free. Or them at least being like, hey, we're gonna hang out tonight. I just wanna have some us time, and I'm being like, so here's flowers and stuff. I don't know. Anyways, when he said that English guy, I was like, okay, that's a little bit too romantic. So, and also I've been feeling like my perception, my perspective was that he kind of felt like the guy of 500 Days of Summer. Because I friend-zoned him, I said like, yeah, I only want to be something casual when we're in each other's countries, which is not gonna happen anytime soon, because like we don't have money, or like we just don't have time. But sometimes he still like casually flirts, and like he also didn't communicate this to me, like, yeah, that he was still fine with casually flirting. Well, for me, because I did not know where he was standing, it felt a lot more serious. So for me, because like I friend-zoned him and he was very understanding about it. He was like, yeah, of course, like that's something you need to do right now, like just to focus on yourself and stuff. I did not know what his feelings were about it. And then he would still like, he was posting like love songs before that and stuff, and that already made me like, oh, very, like my guards went up, and you know my avoidance issues start acting up. And then afterwards a little bit more like sad songs and stuff. And also like sometimes I would post, and like I start kind of doing daily songs sometimes, and majority of them are about my ex. Because that's the whole point. I mean, I hate to break it to everyone, but he's everywhere. He's in between the lines, he's in between my words, he's in between my sentences. He's the quotation marks that start my sentences and end my sentences. He's the shirt that I'm wearing. He's the flowers that I buy. He's everywhere. He's everything. He's the whole reason. So, like, I post those because of my ex. Like, and my ex doesn't see it because I'm not insane. But so sometimes he would post like False Confidence by Noah Kahan after I posted my songs. And it also just kind of made me feel like, oh, I'm hurting him. Or like, well, he's hurt because I'm posting these songs about not being over my ex. And stuff. And like, I'm not going to change that. That's his feelings to go through. But that made me have this perception that he was, or like also with casual flirting, made me have the perception that he didn't fully understand me, and that like he was like the guy in 500 Days of Summer, and I feel very much like Summer of 500 Days of Summer. And so I said that to him, and then he was hurt by that. Oopsies. I mean, fair enough. And then he also was like, yeah, well, that's not true, because like I do have feelings for you, actually still. So I'm actively trying to distance myself and like to not have that, and like not be like that guy. And I was like, yeah, see, I didn't know that. I did not know that like your casually flirting for you isn't that much, and that doesn't mean that you. Well, I mean, he still has some feelings for me. And like then also I gave my things like, yeah, I shut down the flirting because I didn't want to, and then he also was like, yeah, see, I also shut down the flirting, and I'm like, and in my head I'm like, where the fuck did you do that? But obviously I didn't notice because I was actively cheering on the shutting down of the flirting. He also was like, yeah, so did you notice I was a little bit more distant? And I'm like, yes, slightly. And then in my head I was like, I was too busy battling my own demons to even notice that. Whoopsies. Um, and then afterwards I was like, yeah, that was a bit hard. And told him like, you can tell me another like red flag, and then he was like, yeah, it might be a bit harsh. I'm like, no, I need to be called out on shit. Like, how else will I improve, you know? So then he also called me out on my avoidance behavior, which I already knew. He told me behaviors I already know, but he gave me like a new insight of how it was when he was here, and how I kind of like shut him out after Efteling, like in the evening. And that was also just, I was so socially tired, I was so overstimulated, I needed to shut him out, to not shout at him, because I was going insane. But I had no idea how to communicate this to him, because I wanted to look cool. And also I didn't know how to communicate to him like, hey, I'm feeling a lot of emotions. I'm honestly kind of upset because I was on my period while in the Efteling, the theme park. And that was my first date. That was fucking terrible. I've been feeling nauseous half the day. My ex is dating his friend, a new girl. And at that point, I did not know if he cheated or not. I only knew that they were officially dating for 2 months. And then the only other thing I knew was that they like followed each other. Like Steam, yeah, like on December 12th, and like she added some song, like they hung out December 12th. That's the only thing I knew. I was going insane. So yeah, I shut him out. But he was like, yeah, you didn't communicate that at all. Like you were just going very like distant. And I'm like, oh yeah. Didn't really occur to in my mind to actually communicate that. Maybe like, but to be fair, I did feel in the evening, like when he went to bed, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna stay here a little bit because I need some alone time. Which then I called with my friends and realized, holy shit, I need this. Whoopsies. They were all drunk. It was so funny. But there was just so much going on in my mind. But yeah, he very much like was like, yeah, you shut me out at that moment. So now I also almost want to ask my ex, not text him or anything, to be like, hey, when were there like moments besides England? I know about England. That like I shut you out and I didn't communicate that about at all. Because like I feel maybe that I communicated a bit better with him, because we also understood each other of like being overstimulated and just needing some alone time. And I was like, okay, I need some like TikTok time. That was like my alone time. But yet again, I am so bad at communicating that I don't realize when or how I can communicate. Like I don't realize, like, because I also told him like, yeah, I was feeling like the English guy told him like, yeah, I was feeling like quite upset about my ex or anything. And was very much going through my heartbreak again, just like very much. But since he was like a situationship, I was like, how the hell am I gonna tell it to him? Because how can I be like, yeah, I'm so grateful that you come all the way to my country to hang out with me. Anyways, I'm very upset because I'm not over my ex. And I'm afraid that he's a better guy than you. Like, what? How are you gonna do that? Then rightfully yesterday he was like, well, I'm there also for you, so I also just want to know how you're feeling and like how you're doing. And if like you're upset about your ex, you can just tell me about your ex and like tell about him. Like, and that felt really nice. So that also kind of opened it up to me that probably, definitely, like my ex also would have been happy to just hear me talk about anything. And I'm really worried that because I did not know when or how or what with anything of communication, and was taught I did quite well, but it's so terrible, what the fuck, that I made him quite anxious because of that. But then he didn't communicate, well, he communicated that he was anxious, but he was most anxious about dying. But then like, I don't know. It's always when I look back on my life that like I look back, I'm like, oh my god, the communication was terrible. That was the whole problem. And have I just never realized that maybe my communication was the problem? Very much, and still is. Yeah, so maybe I'll ask him that in like 2 weeks when we have class again. Maybe not. Maybe I'll make some discoveries. Who knows? Anyways, the whole reason why I started this video is because I... Oh god, my voice. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. I talked quite a bit today. So the whole reason why I started this video is because I stalked my friend on Spotify, the girl that I kissed in March, which I have no idea if I actually ever said on here, but we kissed and we hooked up. I kind of had a crush on her, and it was just not, but like more in the sense of the grass was greener on the other side crush, because I also fully know like we could never be anything. I don't think we fit really great together. Like I think we fit terrible together. But then we got drunk and we were the only ones here, and then there came a dare of like, oh, kiss. So then we did. And we kissed quite a bit. And then we were something for a weekend, and now it's like I feel so bad. I feel so guilty doing that to her, because she definitely has more feelings about me than I have about her. And I think she also feels guilty. Like we made Spotify playlists for each other, but then we didn't, like after a week I friend-zoned her, and then I also friend-zoned Romy. I keep on doing this today. It's too late now. Guess name reveal of one of the people. Anyways, so friend-zoned the girl and the English guy in the same week, because I didn't tell the English guy about the girl as well, because I was like, that's gonna make me look like the most biggest red flag ever, and that's very mean, so I'm just gonna keep quiet about that actually. But then I friend-zoned them on the same day. And then afterwards, the girl made a playlist called like Waves of... No. It was something related to In the Back of Her Mind, that was it called. And then the caption was bless the path she walks on. And I know it's one for me, because it has some songs. Actually, I thought it used to have songs that I liked in there, but not really. But there are a lot of them are like, oh, waiting for you, and like being anxious about like loving each other or something. Like all of her songs also in the playlist were very being like kind of dictating my feelings about her, in the sense of her being anxious that I didn't like her or stuff, which just made me be more like, I cannot do that. She was so anxious, like I cannot do that again to myself. That's so unhealthy for me. But anyways, just now I saw that she changed it to wish it was different / I am sorry about it all, which means that she's guilty about it. Even though very much on me. Should not have done that. And I think she feels guilty because like she's making me feel bad. But I just feel bad. I just feel guilty about her. And that's also like, that's also the thing. Like these two people that I, hindsight, maybe should not have, like just for their own feelings, probably should not have, hooked up with or done anything with, because they're poor feelings. Broke a little bit too many hearts in the past half a year. But what was I saying again? Like, they have given me so much insight and knowledge about myself that I cannot regret. Whoopsies. I have learned so much about myself, but yeah, I just feel bad because like I feel bad because they're feeling bad, which also I don't really feel bad for them that often, because about it all, I can never love them the way that I love my ex. And they also, sadly for them, cannot live up to him because he fitted so greatly with me. And obviously there were like some things that didn't work, but like we fitted like puzzle pieces. Just two pots in a pea pot. 2 peas in a pot. That's it. Like even when we talked in class, like now it's not really awkward anymore. It just felt so natural. It just felt so comfortable. And obviously that also comes with 2 years of knowing each other and living together with each other. But even other than that, like the second we started talking, maybe not the second, but the Friday, which was before our first date, it was a day after we asked each other on the first date. It was February 10th, on a Friday. I went to school because I just wanted to see him, honestly, and I needed to work on school, but I also just wanted to see him, and I knew I was gonna be at school. So I sat at my favorite spot, which is honestly my favorite spot, but it's also just very much right in the view of everybody with windows and everything. And I sat there, and I was so anxious every time his classmates walked by or anything. And I think I saw him with like lunch or something, or like the back of his head, and I was like, oh my god. And I could barely focus because I was just so nervous or something. And then I was so ready to just give up because like I just went downstairs to buy a bottle of Fanta to like have a fun little drink. And I was so ready to, honestly, like I was just kind of staring at the screen, like my focus was completely lost. And it was around 4 p.m. And I was looking at it, and then I looked up, and he was like around the corner, like so around the glass wall basically, walking towards me. And my heart just stopped. It never felt that way. It just stopped. I couldn't breathe for like a hot second. I was so excited and so nervous for some reason. But I was so excited that he actually talked to me. And then he was like, oh, you wanna like do something? Or like, am I bothering you? I'm like, no, please. I'm like sitting here so you will talk to me. And then it was like 4 p.m. And it was like winter because it was February. So we went to the park because also it was like way too soon to go to anybody's house. So we went to the park and we sat on a bench. That is not there anymore, actually. In the freezing cold, and we talked there till like 9 p.m. or something. And it felt like so natural or thing. Like we were just sitting on a bench and we were just chatting about whatever. Which was also, I think, the first time actually we were full on talking with each other without any interruption of anybody else. Because in all the other times, it was like a social event. So other people were there, like we saw each other because of other people. But yeah, like we were just hanging out and we were like, this is not our first date. This is just us hanging out. This is, but definitely like flirting a little bit and just being like, oh my god. And then we had our first date on Valentine's, which I dyed my hair over the weekend to make it the same dark red color as his. So, and that Monday I don't think I had class, or he didn't have class or something. I don't remember. So, Valentine's Day was on Tuesday. I walked into the school and I saw him like sitting at this spot, talking to people, and I was like, oh, I could go over there and like say hi, but I was too nervous because he was talking to his friend. And so he didn't notice me when I was walking in. And then I had class till 5. And I think so did he. or something. I think both of our classes ended at like 5. And so I texted him like, oh, like I'm done. And I think it was like, oh, like come and find me. I have a surprise. So then I was like, oh fuck, I need to like find him. And at first I thought like maybe in the like this study room, like this study area on the downstairs level or something. I didn't go there, but I was like, okay, if he's not in like the canteen or like in the spot that I saw him this morning, like that was also kind of like I think he might be in the same spot as I saw him this morning. And otherwise I'll like go there and I'll like panic or something, be like, oh my god, I cannot find him. And then there he was in the spot that he was there in that morning. So that was honestly I just knew. Well, it's also I saw him that morning there. And then he bought me a Minecraft bee. No, not a Minecraft bee. He bought me a bee plushie. Made like a little basket. It took him like 2 hours or 3 to make. And like a lot of different chocolates because he didn't know which one I liked. Which was very, very sweet. And apparently he shared the chocolates with his friends that day at school as well, because he bought like a big bag out of each and he gave me like one of each. So that was very sweet. And around that time, like me and my friends, like Bestie Tree and the guy that just texted me earlier, I think that was in this video, we had like this thing of like, I don't know, if you're in love, you have like a Minecraft bee. Not a Minecraft bee, a bee plushie. Like I'm not in love, but like we had something with like bee plushies. So that was so fitting that like he just, I don't know, gave it to me. And then we went to we got food, and we talked, and it was very easy to kind of open up to him as well about some things that are more serious. And then we went to the park, we sat on a different bench, and we sat there until midnight or something, like so long, and it was freezing because it was February, that we just sat there for so long, and eventually like we kissed and whatever. And around like midnight we were like, okay, we don't want this to end, but like we have to go, we have school early tomorrow. But it was so easy to just talk to him and everything. And obviously I was nervous in the beginning, and obviously it was awkward, and it wasn't always that easy to talk to him like in the beginning. And in the beginning I also was scared to come off too strongly. Like I was like, oh, I want to see him, but like I'm too scared to like bother him or like text him. And also half the time he would beat me to texting me. So I would like, okay, I'm gonna text him at like 4 p.m. And then he texted me at like 10 a.m. being like, hey, you wanna hang out today? I'm like, oh god damn it, I want to text you. And also at some point in the first like couple of weeks or months that we dated, I was very sad, as I am, because clearly I'm a sad person with mental health issues. So I kind of broke down being like, I'm a sad person, and I was so afraid. And like that's also like, because I was only 20, and now I know a lot more about myself, obviously, in the last month. But back then I couldn't communicate every single detail about why I was sad, because I didn't even know, or like I didn't know how I worked, and now I know it a lot more. But I just said like, I'm a really sad person. I was kind of like, I was begging him to love me, but not begging. I was just, breaking down and being like, I'm really sad, and like just asking him like, kind of in this way of like, do you still love me if I'm sad? Maybe I actually asked him, and he just told me like, you're my sad person. I wish I would remember that at the important moments, but it's so difficult, because clearly in a way right now I don't think I will get over him, because he was just the greatest I've ever had, and he fit me so well, and the love was just so good to me and so calming. It was so peaceful, and he still makes me so happy. And in a way I'm also fine if I don't really get over him, But then, like, I cannot regret this breakup because his life has improved so well and my life is also improving. I cannot regret it at all because, like, we're going exactly to where we are meant to be, or, like, supposed to be going. And, like, we're improving ourselves so well. Or, like, I am improving myself so well. I know so much more about myself than I would have never known if I had stayed with him, because maybe we were both just stuck in that way because we loved each other so much. Like, it's upsetting that, like, we grew so well to the point where we couldn't grow anymore because we couldn't give each other new insights, or, like, we just couldn't call each other out. And, like, I do not have the time to find love right now, and I cannot be bothered to go through all of that because there's so many people who don't really fit that well with me. So I can only slightly hope that eventually we will find our way back to each other. This is what I mean with that. I'm not sure if I will ever get over him. And this is what I mean with it's a bit. I am just, everything is so unfair to the two people that I used as rebounds basically after the breakup. Because they like this girl that could never be with them. Because they just came after the greatest thing I've ever had. Because that's also the thing, like, okay, maybe not the girl, because generally I don't think we're good for each other. I think that would have been a fucking disaster and would have run it to the ground. I would have run it to the ground. I would have been so toxic. Like, but with the English guy, maybe if we were in the same country and, like, in a lot better scenarios, or, me not being stuck up on my ex, maybe I would have given it a chance. I don't think we would have made it very far. But it would have been okay for a while, but too bad. My standards have raised incredibly high. So that's that. Hope you liked it. Especially because now it has turned incredibly dark since the sun went down. Oh, holy shit, the sky is beautiful. I'm gonna take a picture of that. Okay, bye bye.